Magandang araw muli sa inyong lahat. Welcome sa December 11, Friday edition ng The Stock Market Today. Ako po si Benji Chodoro, nag-aanyaya na samahan ninyo ako at tignan natin ang pinaka-latest na balita tungkol sa ating paboritong stocks. Meron din tayong trivia to test your knowledge on support and resistance. At ang resulta ng kalakalan sa ating Philippine Stock Exchange at Index ngayong araw dito lamang sa The Stock Market Today. Bago pong lahat, basahin po muna natin ang ating mga reminders at disclaimers. At habang binabasa po natin ito, kung first time niyo po dito sa ating channel, ay nag-start po ako magbigay ng daily stock market report noong August 2020. I invite you to subscribe to my channel so you are always updated with the latest news and information on the stock market and the most active stocks in the PSE. I am a retired employee of one of the Philippines' largest banks. I was also an OFW when I was assigned to our branch in Hong Kong as head of compliance. Mga 8 months din po akong namalagi sa ibang bansa. And after that, I was assigned through the grace of God as Chief Compliance Officer of a bank subsidiary. Since early 2000, I started investing in UITFs, and a few years later, I started investing in stocks. I review the most active stocks in the Philippine market using technical analysis, and sometimes I add a bit of fundamental analysis. By the way, if you want me to review your favorite stock, please comment on the comment box below, and I will do my best to do the review. Okay, ang PSEI, tumaas siya ng 91.73 points or 1.28%. So, nasa 7246.16 level. And this is just above the psychological level of 7200. Ang next level na pwede niyang i-test is 7500. Yan po yung next level na ito-test niya. Pero take note po, kasi may mga gaps po dito, tulad dito sa area ito. Mafi-fill up na po yan. Yung area yan. Ito na fill up na siguro to. But this area here, ay i-retest po yan. I-retest po siya. So, right now, nasa support level siya of i-retest po siya. So, right now, nasa support level siya of or resistance level na 7200. Okay, guys, when I talk of support and resistance, these are areas, no, and they are not exact points. So, let's put up our indicators. So, paakyat pa rin ang PSE. Pero mukhang tingin ko lang dito ay merong bearish divergence, ano? Because, yan, nasa 7200 level siya. May bearish divergence dahil yung RSI ay in spite na tumataas yung stock, hindi siya tumataas as much. So, yan siyang bearish divergence. Pero yung RSI niya is still bullish, ano? It's 64.79. Kasi ang RSI between 50 and 70, that would indicate a bullish trend. And our indicators are also going up. Kaya lang, it doesn't rise as much. So I would say that there is probably a bearish divergence. So abangan natin yan kung ganyan nga mangyayari sa PSE. Pero tingin ko lang kasi dyan is that in spite of what the RSI is showing us, ang tingin ko kasi is that as we approach year-end, some of the stocks or some of the companies would do window dressing. So ang tingin ko aakyat yan eh. Aakyat pa siya, pero not as much. Okay, so now let's take a look at the summary. Okay, 155 companies advanced, 77 declined, while 40 remained unchanged. Take note, net foreign buying, 212 million. And if you'll take a look at the sectoral indices, all 6 indices showed a positive result. And this was led by properties, 2.72% increase. Then this is followed by mining at 1.82. But those sectors which showed positive foreign buying is properties and mining. While the all-share index had a 1.12%, increase. Now, if you'll take a look at the most active stocks, by the way, I'd like to acknowledge the request of Mr. J. So he requested RRHI and BPI. So ipa-prioritize po natin yan. Unahin po natin yung dalawang stocks na ito. Plus, we'll be doing MBT, Ali, BDO, PHA, DITO, RLC, AR, and MPI. MPI, we have news on that. And we also have our candlestick. Sorry, it's not a candlestick anymore. This is a trivia to test your knowledge and resistance. So before we go to our review of the stocks, let's now go first to our support and resistance question. This is question number 4. When drawing trend lines, you should A. Connect a top and a bottom, B. Never force them to fit the market, or C. Not connect subsequent tops and bottoms. I'll give you 5 seconds to choose your answer. Congratulations to those who got the correct answer. Letter B. Never force them to fit the market. So, bakit never force them to fit the market? Kasi you're drawing a trend line. And trend line, you're drawing a trend. Diba? So, let's take a look at an example here. Ang magandang example is yung first stock siguro. Let's do MBT. Kasi packet yung MBT. Balik natin. Yan. Okay, can you see? Okay. Ito yung unang trend niya. But the trend is actually pag ganun eh. Skewed siya. Packet. Okay, so that is the trend line of MBT. That's the initial trend, ano? But you can also draw another trend here kasi mas steeper itong isa. So let's see this here. Another trend line here. Pag ganun. Or dito natin lagay sa baba. Yan. So this is another trend line. And we draw another trend line here. Parang parallel line na rin siya. So that's how you draw a trend line. And if you'll notice, yung mga peaks and troughs niya, hanggang trend line lang siya. So that's our first question on the support and resistance. We'll have 2 more in between review. So first, let's go to RRHI. Okay, RRHI. Let's put up our indicator. By the way, my indicators are the 20-day exponential moving average represented by the orange line, the 50-day exponential moving average represented by the blue line, and the 100-day exponential moving average represented by the black line. The 20-day is our short term, the 50-day is our medium term, while the 100-day exponential is our long term. Now, if you notice, yung indicators natin is that when the indicator is above the candlestick, the trend is bearish. Like here, dito, bearish trend siya. But when the indicator goes below the candlestick, the trend is bullish. Now, our trend line, or our indicators, the moving average is a lagging indicator. If you will take a look, now if the indicator is piercing through the candlestick, nagko-consolidate lang yung stock. So let's see, RRHI is actually consolidating. Pero, may possible upside dyan. So, the nearest resistance ni RRHI is here. 70. And the nearest support, tingin ko lang, yung nearest support niya, nasa 66. Nasa 66 yung nearest support niya. The second support actually is here. Kung ma-pierce niyo yung first support, the next support is this. Actually, yung support and resistance, the next support is at 63.50. Actually, ang support and resistance, areas yan, hindi po yan exact points. No? Now, beyond 70, ang next support niya is here. Gawin natin weekly. Ang next support na niya is nasa 90 or nasa 78. Nasa 80. 80.44. After the 69, the next support, or the next resistance rather, will be 80. So, Mr. JR, if you're holding on to the stock, and okay ka na dito sa 70. 70 is a good level to sell, ano? If you bought it somewhere here, mga 63 or 66 or somewhere in between. Basta ang risk-reward ratio mo should be 1:2. At least 1:2. Now, If you will target 80, pwede rin. Diba? Kasi Robinsons Retail, ano siya eh. Magandang stock naman yan si Robinsons eh. And kahilera yan ng mga SMPH. Retail kasi is retail holdings. I think this is the mall business or the supermarket section. I'm not so sure. Pero SMPH kasi is the mall business of SM. So, kung happy ka na dyan, pwede ka na dito. Or you can go through 80. Kasi moving sideways lang to eh. So, yesterday ba? Naku, bumaba siya, no? And it may retest. So, kung kayo, if you plan to enter, pwede kayo mag-enter either at the 66 level or at this level, pwede na rin eh. Kasi area naman kasi yung support eh. Resistance is also an area. Ngayon, ano yung recommendation ni Nomura? Nomura gives me this daily stock picks. And if I take a look at Nomura's recommendation on the stock, Robinsons Retail Holdings, RRHI, may buy recommendation siya. And the target price of Nomura is 82. Okay, kung maniniwala kayo dun sa target price ni Nomura, then it's up to you, di ba? Kasi yung next resistance niya is 80, but he went beyond that. Ang sabi niya, 82. Probably, dito yung tinitingnan niya. Itong level na ito. Yan. Yung highest point dito, 81. Somewhere there. I'm just guessing. Kasi ang Nomura naman, BDO Nomura, meron siyang basis on his estimates. BDO Nomura kasi does his target price based on fundamental analysis and technical analysis. So, pinagsasabay niya yan. So, that's my take on... Nakikita mo ba? Okay. That's my take on RRHIs. It will just... You have choices on kung pwede ka na mag-out dito sa 70, pwede rin sa 82. Pero, BDO Nomura, ang target price niya is 82. Kung kailan niya ma-reach yun, hindi natin alam. Basta tina-target niya at 82. Okay, next, let's take a look at BPI. Request ulit ni Mr. J. Now, guys, bear with me, no? Because I'm at a location where ang walls ay puro semento, kaya medyo nag-e-echo siya ng konti. Kaya lang, ang gusto ko lang mangyari is that, or gusto ko lang feedback is that, kung clear yung sinasabi ko. Kung clear, then that's fine. Kung masyadong echo, then please tell me you couldn't understand. Okay, BPI 82.40. Let's see. Ko-consolidate lang actually. Lagyan natin ng indicator. Okay. Nagko-consolidate lang siya. It's just moving within this area. And I would say the resistance would be here at 89. And the support would be here at 80. So, dyan lang siya maglalaro. Actually, if you'll take a look at the news is not specific to BPI but to banks in general. So, bad loans ratio edges up in October. So, sinasabi niya dito na yung non-performing loans tumaas and the provisioning also tumaas. So, sabi niya, SARD loans in lenders' portfolio continue to pile up for the 9th straight month, reflecting the grim impact of the pandemic on business and consumers. BSP data showed gross non-performing loan or NPL ratio of as of end October reached 3.69% from the 3.47% in September and 2.2% a year ago. It is also the highest since 2013 when the central bank applied the financial reporting package methodology to gauge asset quality of lenders. So the BSP also estimates that the bad loan ratio will likely increase to 4.6% by end of 2020 based on BSP projections. Nasa 17.6 in 2002 because of the Asian financial crisis. Okay, loans that fall under the non-performing category if they are unpaid for at least 30 days after due date. Okay, they are considered as risk assets because borrowers are unlikely to settle these loans. So, pagka naging past due na siya, 30 days after they are due, then nagiging non-performing na siya. Okay, so that's the news on the banks. Pero, if I will share ko lang sa inyo yung commentary ni BDO Nomura dyan. Ang sabi ni BDO Nomura on that article is that we believe our covered banks, including BPI, are well prepared to face the rising NPL, meaning non-performing loan risks, having aggressively boosted their NPL covers to 100 to 174% in the third quarter. The anticipated package of the FIST, or Financial Institution Strategic Transfer Bill, should also allow banks to better manage their NPLs and help them refocus on lending activities. In other words, what BDO Nomura is saying is that their target price for the banks, the price that we have now on BPI, for example, is already priced in. And for BPI, ang kanyang target price for that bank is, let's check, 89 pesos. So kung nakapasok tayo ng halimbawa sa 80 at our target price is 89, how much is that? Medyo malaki din yun. So kung nakapasok tayo dito, okay, so that's 11.25%. Kapasok ka at 80, you sell at 90 or 89. 11.25. Okay, so BPI will just continue to move sideways within this range. So 89, pwede na kayo mag-target price dyan. O pwede rin mas malaki, di ba? Pero kung happy na kayo dito sa 89 at paniniwalaan natin si Nomura, actually may basis naman si Nomura dito eh. Because this is actually a resistance level and that exactly is his target price. So 89 is a good price to sell the stock. Okay, next, let's take a look at MBT. MBT. Ito sana yung gagawin kong, what do you call this, example nung channel, nung trend line. So I drew a trend here, pero hindi siya exactly parallel line. No? Ito parallel, ito skewed. I think this is a skewed line. I don't know how you call this. Pero ang trend line niya hindi siya actually parallel line. Anyway, MBT, lagyan natin ng tanggalin natin. So it's moving higher, and if you'll see, meron siyang higher low here, another higher low here, higher low here. So it's just moving on a channel. At kung titingnan natin, masasabi kong ang support niya is ilagay natin sa EMA 20, which is 48. No? 48 yung year support niya. At ngayon, it resulted to a green candlestick. And let's see tomorrow what will happen, or Monday what will happen, kasi meron siyang volume and a green candlestick. So ang tingin ko dyan, it will just move higher within this channel. The lower channel and the upper channel. Pero ingat lang tayo because I see a bearish divergence of the RSI. So as the stock moves, hindi yun. As the stock moves higher, the RSI moves a bit lower naman. No? Tingnan mo siya. May bearish divergence siya. So ito, pataas to, actually, yan. Pero yung peak niya dito, it did not rise as much, indicating a bearish divergence. So maaaring nagpa-plateau na itong Metrobank. So maaaring hanggang dito, umabot lang siya to the nearest resistance level at maaaring mag-consolidate. So I see the nearest resistance here at 52. 51.93, but 52 is the more like it. Okay, next, let's take a look at Ali. Okay, Ali had a solid green candlestick with a small wick, but this is not a breakout because volume is just average. Ang breakout ay yung ganito, yung candlestick na ganito na solid, tapos may volume. Yung volume dito should be higher than the shadow. The shadow kasi is the average. Kita nyo yan? May shadow dito, pero yung volume niya mataas. So ito, clearly a breakout. This one is a breakout here. Ito, hindi to breakout. Kasi within average lang yung volume. And ito, it went higher. And kaya lang, yung indicators natin is still under the candlestick, which would indicate a bullish movement upwards. Net foreign buying. Pero ingat lang tayo because baka oversold na yung stock. Ano? In fact, yung RSI, maaaring may nakikita akong bearish divergence. Ayan. So, maaaring nagplaplateau na yung stock. Pero tingnan natin on Monday what will happen. Ang tingin ko lang is that maaaring mag-consolidate muna ito. Okay, next, let's take a look at BDO. Okay, BDO moved higher. Huh? This is the second time, or the second day that it moved higher. Friday normally is a profit-taking day in the PSE. Pero some of the stocks moved higher, probably because of good sentiment or good vibes. May news ba sa BDO? Actually, the good news lang is the dividend. Ex-date is December 17 and 30 centavos. So, matagal na siya nagbibigay ng ganyang dividend every quarter. Ito 30 din to eh. Ito 30 din yan. Every quarter yan, very consistent sa BDO. Not much, but it is a dividend. Okay? Now, like what I've said in the previous days, ang nearest resistance dito is 111. And if it goes through that resistance, the next level that it may test would be 114 here. Yan yung next level niya. Kasi merong resistance dito eh. So, kailangan ma-pierce yan. And it has been there for a long time. The last time that it reached 114 was June. And previous to that, it was March. March 26. Nag-114. So, tingin ko lang dyan, magte-test lang siya dito sa 111. Tapos kung ma-pierce niya yan, ang i-retest niya yung next level na 114. And, kung tumuloy-tuloy pa siya, halimbawa lang, kung tumuloy-tuloy pa si BDO, ang next level na itatest niya is 125 or 126. Yung next level niya. Okay? Kasi meron ditong support na naging resistance. Okay, now, let's get to our second support and resistance questions, number 5. It's question number 5. When price is trading within a channel, what is it doing? A. Price trades within two parallel trend lines. B. 4 green candlesticks form. Or C. Price trades within two intersecting trend lines. 5 seconds for your reply. Okay, congratulations to those who got the correct answer. Letter A, price trades within two parallel trend lines. So my example here is actually MBT. Ito yung example natin, di ba? So if we will draw a, tanggalin natin ito. If we will draw a parallel channel, we can draw it here. Ayan siya. Yan. So dyan lang siya nagka-trade within the channel. So, yung support nandito sa channel na ito, pwede natin gawin support yung MA20 or EMA20. So, yan yung example ng, sorry, nakikita nyo ba? Naku, hindi nyo nga nakikita. Ito siya. Yan. So, the example is MBT. There is the channel. Yan yung upper channel and lower channel. So, dyan lang siya nagka-trade. Okay? It's trading within the upper and the lower lines. So, the answer is letter B. Tama nga ba? There. Or letter A rather. The price trades within two parallel trend lines. Okay, so let's now go to the next. PHA. Okay, PHA. Another breakout for PHA. Alam mo, ito yung stock na merong backdoor listing. Ito, ang tagal siyang nagko-consolidate dito. Pagkatapos dito, umataw. May breakout. When I say breakout, meron siyang volume at solid green candlestick. Yan yung breakout. Tapos nag-consolidate lang siya ng konti. And then, another breakout here. So, nag-pullback lang siya, no? Yung pullback niya is a flag pullback. And another breakout here. Very bullish ang market on PHA. Ang tingin ko dyan is wait for another pullback before you buy again. Kasi may opportunity pa tayo dito eh. Maaaring mag-consolidate muna and then before it goes higher. Okay, that's PHA. Then next, let's take a look at dito. Okay, dito, meron siyang green candlestick today, 4.04% increase. And actually, dito appears to be moving higher, no, based on this trend line here. Yung indicator natin, the EMA20, yun, it's still under the candlestick. And our EMA20 is at 6.73. That should be our support. And the nearest resistance should be here. 6.78 or 6.8. Okay? I-retest yung uli yan bago siya tumaas. Okay, RLC. Nasabi ko na ba sa inyo, meron akong position dito sa RLC. RLC, RLC, tignan mo yan, no? Well, hindi siya breakout eh. Bullish sentiment lang talaga eh. It's market sentiment that's driving the stock. And if you'll take a look, mag-draw na tayo ng parallel channel dito. Ang parallel channel, we can start here. Ganyan siya. This one is another channel eh. Pero ganyan siya. Oh. Look at that. The way the stock moves. Yeah. Slight overshoot, but mainly ganyan siya. Did I share with you yesterday that I bought somewhere at 16? Banda rito eh. I bought somewhere here. Ito, 16 pesos. November 18. And right now, it's at 20.50. My target price actually is 21. So malapit na niya ma-reach yung target price. Tingnan natin yung resistance ni RLC. I think the resistance is 21. Yan. 20. 21. Kung nakabili kayo dito at 16, and then you can sell at 21. Very good na yun. And magkano ba yung risk reward dyan? Malaking risk reward ratio dyan. It's more than 2 actually. Mga 5 or 6. I think it's 5 or 6 nung dito sa 16 ha. Ngayon, ano sa tingin nyo? Tutuloy pa ba tayo dyan? Take profit na ako sa 21 actually. Masaya na ako dun. At saka medyo maganda naman yung investment ko dito. And magpapasko, so kailangan din nating mag-profit taking, no? Ng konti. So okay na yan. Okay na ako dyan. So magkaantay na lang ako ng pullback and wait for better news before I invest again. So yun yung take ko sa RLC. Next, AR. AR had a red candlestick today. Although hindi siya hindi siya very popular stock. So from here, nagkaroon siya ng breakout, another sustained breakout, another breakout. So maaring nagko-consolidate ito. So tingnan natin on Monday, maaring mag-move siya parallel, mag-dip ng konti, and then yan. Mga ganun mangyari sa stock. Check na natin yung nearest resistance nito. Historically, actually, ang next resistance level niya nasa 0.27 or 0.30. Pwede natin sabihin 0.30 yung resistance niya. Pinakamalapit. Here. 0.0030 is the nearest resistance based on the weekly chart. Okay, next, let's take a look at MPI. Ang MPI, may news dyan. No? Pero hinahanap ko kasi I drew a parallel channel actually. But it ended with an uncertain small body candlestick, which is, tingnan natin kung sign of reversal na ito. Kasi, I don't have any short term here. Short term, it's not in my short term portfolio, but it's in my long term portfolio actually. MPI, if you are trading the stock, or if I were to trade the stock, ang nearest resistance niya na pwede nyong ibenta and take profit. Sa akin, dito. Mga 4.70 or pwede sa 4.80. Yan, you can take profit at 4.80. Then tingnan nga natin yung recommendation ni BDO Nomura. BDO Nomura's recommendation for MPI is let's see, Metro Pacific 480. Yan, 480 ang kanyang recommendation. May halong funda ito si Nomura. Kaya kung maniniwala kayo sa akin at kay BDO Nomura, then dyan kayo sa 480. Magbenta. No? Then nasa sa inyo po yan. Hindi ko po kayo pipilitin kung anong type nyo. Kung gusto nyo sa 470, pwede rin. Kasi solid yung resistance naman dito. But if you believe in the fundamentals of Metro Pacific, okay din yun. Sa 480 nyo ibenta. Now, ano man balita natin kay Metro Pacific? Actually, hinahanap ko dito sa regular newspapers. Wala. Ang balita na kinumura sa kanyang daily stock market, no? Hindi niya to nakikita. Anyway, okay, basahin ko lang, no? NLEX vows to fix RFID glitches. Ang sabi niya, ang source niya is Philstar. Pero I was looking for it at Philstar, wala akong makita. The management of MPI's Toll Roads Unit, North Luzon Expressway Corp, NLEX, unlisted, has committed to ease traffic gridlocks at the Balintawak Toll Plaza caused by glitches in the implementation of the radio frequency identification system. In a meeting with Caloocan Mayor Oscar Malapitan on Wednesday, NLEX Chief Officer Raul Ignacio vowed to reduce the waiting time at the Balintawak Toll Plaza by 25% this week. Note that this plaza has 24 booths and serves as the main artery to NLEX. In addition, management also committed to the following measures. 1. Installation of additional handheld readers to speed up toll payments. 2. Improvement of installation of RFID stickers and replacement of defective ones. 3. Increase in the number of RFID sticker loading sites. And 4. The immediate transfer of the RFID sticker installation and account reloading at the Karuhatan and Mindanao toll plazas to improve traffic flow. So, hopefully this will solve that problem, no? on their problems on their RFID. Pero pinagtataka ko lang, matagal na yung RFID. In fact, pagka dumadaan kami dyan sa Balintawak Toll Plaza, wala pa kaming RFID noon. Meron na eh. Pero hindi nila na-improve yun. Ang tanong ko lang is, it has been there for a long, long time and yet it wasn't improved. Or kailangan i-upgrade yung mga RFID readers lang. Kasi yung readers nila is obsolete. I don't know. But dito sa South, where I live, I passed through the San Miguel Expressway. No? Yung South Luzon Expressway is managed by San Miguel. And napaka-efficient nung kanilang toll booth. In fact, siguro kailan ba yun? 6 months or about a year ago, nag-upgrade sila ng RFID, si San Miguel. And it has been working very well, no? With just very, very few. Siguro, 10 times ako, out of, say, halimbawa, 20 times ako pumapasok, once for every 20 times lang ako hindi na-read. No? 1/20. Or that's about 5% of the time. Pero most of the time, pasok siya. Okay. MPIC. The target price is 480 because I see a resistance at 480. And I think, in spite of this news for the past 2 days, this is probably a sign of reversal. So let's say on Monday, if we see a green candlestick, then nag-reverse na siya, and it will probably move further up the channel, and we reach our target price of 480. Okay, so yan po ang ating report sa stock market, December 11, 2020, TGIF edition. Ito po si Benji Chidoro nagpapaalala. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Merry Christmas sa inyong lahat. Happy weekend. Thank you and bye for now.